Hello friends, welcome to Squaird Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be doing a little DIY planner refresh for fall in my Classic Happy Planner. I'll share an autumn self-care freebie and show you how I'm using it, as well as set up my frankenplanner with some additional seasonal items. So let's get to it. So I created this autumn self-care freebie printable that I thought would work really well as a pocket pages insert. However, you don't have to use it for a pocket pages. You can always just print it out as is and stick it right in your planner without any of this bit of DIY. But I thought that it would be pretty fun to put it in a pocket pages and just see how it turned out. So I've pre-printed it onto some basic white cardstock. I think I picked this up at Michael's a while back. And I printed it double-sided so that I could line everything up fairly easily without having to kind of match things up. However, my printer does usually print a little off from front to back. So as you'll see, there's a little bit of a gap on the front side where I had the misalignment, but I used the back as my main guide for cutting because I wanted the individual items that I'm going to be doing for the self-care challenge to be nice and square. So the front is what's going to end up being a little off, which you'll see. But again, if you don't have a pocket pages, it's no big deal. Those are discontinued from Happy Planner. I don't know if they're ever going to bring those back. But I do have a video if you want to try your hand at some DIY, showing you how to do it out of laminated sheets and make your own pocket pages. It was a little bit rough, I will say, that first time, and that's the one I filmed, but I think it really gives you a good idea how to make it happen, and then practice makes perfect. So if you are in for it and you really want to have a pocket pages, can't find them anywhere online, I will have that video linked down below for you as well, just so you can have your pocket pages and join in on the fun. So anyway, I am cutting this down. I started by cutting it down using the crop marks that are included on the file to a 6x8 rectangle, so 6 inches by 8 inches. And then from there, you cut it down into 2-inch squares. So don't have crop marks on there because it can get a little wonky, like I said, depending on how accurate your printer is. So what I did is I just used the ruler guide on my guillotine cutter, which you saw above, to do the 2-inch squares. And so I basically cut it at 6 inches, 4 inches down to 2 to make the rows. And then you cut those rows again into 2 inches each. You also have to align everything, make sure everything works out. So put it in the same order as it was printed. And that way you get a nice kind of quote on the front. And really that's it. So a quick and easy project, but super fun. And now I have the items I'm going to be adding in for my fall refresh on my frankenplanner here. This vellum leaf cover I did last year, and I gave it away as a freebie, so that's going to be available. I'll include that link down below if you want to go ahead and laminate your own cover there. Also, this back and front kind of cardstock cover I made the year before that, so 2 years ago, and I'm actually using the inside cover elements for the cover this time, so I flipped it. And I'm using the original cover as the inside cover and the kind of black and white words as the outside cover. And I believe I did give away that black and white version as well. So that should be available again if you want to do another DIY. I show how I do all of these DIYs in my fall refreshes from previous years. And I just didn't really feel like doing another one since I have all these cute covers to use up. So I will link those videos down below if you want to see that process, but also include the freebies here so that you have those at your disposal and can download them yourself right away. So what I'm doing now is replacing out the sticky dash. So I had a really cute sticky dash since the beginning of the year. I've been using that same one and decided to bring in this fall one once again. This one is made up of a sheet of acetate I got from Plannything a couple of years ago, and I used some plastic photo corners to tie it to a piece of cardstock just to make it a little less flimsy. So I have like a little cardstock backer behind it. I just dropped into that autumn self-care pocket pages we just made, and now I'm going through and replacing out my 6 divider system with these dashboards that I created and have made available in my shop if you're interested. I did show this setup last year, so if you again want to see just like how I went about the setup of these dashboards, printing and everything, you could check that video out. I have, like I said, 6 dividers here, so they're all customized for each of my divider tabs. I've had this one last divider that says collections since the beginning of the year, but I haven't really been able to fill it out. So I'm just going to go back to the original, which was notes back in the day, and drop that in, and then that'll just guide me to my note paper. I've also taken out a pocket folder that I made for the summer refresh and took that pin loop. That is another DIY. I have a lot of DIYs in here, you guys, so you just let me know in the comments if there's something that you see and you want to know more about. But I put that pin loop on the back cover because it works best stuck to something that's made of plastic. And the pocket folder I'm going to be entering in here, I made, again, a couple years ago, but it's just cardstock. So I prefer to have my pin loops on laminated items or plastic items so that they stick a little bit better. So I've dropped in that pocket folder, and again, another DIY, so if you want to see how I made that, check out the video 2 years ago. And then I'll just move my reading log, library cards into there, and also the schedule I had at the back, I'll go ahead and just put it in the pocket folder there at the front. So lastly, what I'm going to enter in here is some layered dashboards for my reference section. I have 4 bottom tabs in my reference section, which I use for long-term storage. And I do like to have just cute dividers in this section as well when I'm theming out my refresh. These, again, I made. They're a combination of 2 projects. So I made the cardstock versions with all of the funness on the back 2 years ago, and then last year I replaced the original overlay vellum with some book quotes that I thought were more fitting for fall, and placed those on top of each of those dividers. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and clean off this tab that's no longer correct that says collections, and hopefully get around to replacing it with the one that says notes. And that's going to do it. So let's do a final flip through and we'll wrap things up. Okay, so you can see how these covers actually layer really nicely together, and I love them with the black discs. Then we have just like this warm fall moment here with the sticky dash and the inside cover. And again, like I said, I have it stuck down there with some clear photo corners just to keep them together, but I can also replace either option at any time. Then we have my cardstock pocket folder I made a couple years ago, and this brand new autumn self-care pocket pages, which I had really made specifically to cut nicely, but of course it did not cut as I'd hoped. Printer error, nothing else. Then we've got my 6 divider section with my layered dashboards in here. Again, these are available in my shop if you want to download them and create your own. And they are customizable with whatever 6 items you want to label for your planner. So I've got those, and we are going to jump ahead here to the reference section, the last 2 dividers in that part and just show you guys how those look front and back. Here are the start of the 4 bottom tab dividers, and just love the vibes on that. I have a black cardstock piece there just so you know, to kind of hide what's behind those, so that's really for you guys' benefit, so I can just flip through and show you guys these dividers pretty easily. I'll finish flipping through the rest of this section, showing you guys these cute dividers, and then I'll also show you guys the very last tab, that notes tab, and the back cover. And once we're done with that, you guys, we will be done, friends. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch, and think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Bye!